I think the, each member of the body, the judiciary and the legislative body, should always be reminded that they are co-equals.
The very simple question, Madam, is that fair? Is that correct? Is that respectful to a co-equal branch of government? Madam Justice, this representation notes well that in the past, the Integrated Bar of the Philippines is fond of issuing statements, political statements. I'd like to know if this statement was based on a consensus from all the members of the IBP inside the country. And if it is, how do they arrive at a consensus? Is there a way by which the IBP is able to obtain feedback from, let's say, the general membership and the entire country? Kasi pag hindi po ganon, they are just using, for example, the board of directors of IBP, and they will pass on as reflective to the entire membership. Parang hindi naman po tama siguro. Would you care to comment on that, Madam?
Your Honor, based on past statements made by past presidents, it appears that these are personal statements of the person giving the statement. I understand that there will have to be a general meeting on the matter if the IBP would want to make an official stand. And unless it's pronounced as an official stand, Your Honor, it would be more prudent to think that it is only the personal statement of the person concerned. As regards to the surveys and general opinions, the IBP has now an app it's called the My IBP app, which can be downloaded, or actually it's required that every lawyer should download that My IBP app in order that they may be recognized as registered members of the IBP. And in that, Your Honor, it includes a survey on applicants to the Judiciary, Office of the Ombudsman, and the Legal Education Board. Right now, we will be considering applicants from regions 9, 10, and 11. It is already in the app, the names of the applicants, Your Honor, and there is a survey questionnaire that can be answered by anyone who would like to submit their comments on the applicants' qualifications, Your Honor.
So if the IBP issues a statement, Madam, titled Official Statement of the IBP, how will an ordinary member of the bar determine whether or not all the membership, or practically maybe majority of the members, have been consulted in arriving such an official statement?
Your Honor, if it's from my own viewpoint, it would also be wise for any IBP member who is not in agreement with the official statement of the IBP to bring the matter first to the organization before going public, so that we will not raise too many confusions about the stand of the IBP. And maybe we can call the attention of the national office on the matter, why other members were not consulted, Your Honor.
I will suggest, Madam, that before the IBP issues an official statement, maybe they should course it to you, being the representative of the IBP in the JDC, because it will be too late. For example, IBP issues a statement very, very critical to the government, and people would be swayed and influenced by that statement that, oh, the group of lawyers in the country represented by the IBP said something like this, maybe negative to the government. It will not be not only to the IBP itself, but also to the members. And it is quite unfair if they produce a statement without having consulted most, if not all, the members. Yun lang po naman ang aming gustong ipaalam sa inyo. Next question, Mr. Chair. Last month, or I think 3 weeks ago, to be exact, Madam, a joint session of Congress was discharging its function in aid of legislation. It's about a governor in the north who failed to reply or respond to the show cause order issued by the Joint Committee of the House of Representatives. That governor also failed to or refused to issue travel orders for the officials of the Sangguniang Pambarangay who were called to appear before the Joint Committee. And he has to answer also why he continued to malign some of the members of the committee in his radio program over the radio station in that particular province. So while the joint session was doing their constitutional duty, the Supreme Court issued a TRO directed to the chairman of the two committees jointly performing their function. You said earlier that you had a very extensive stint with the Supreme Court where you claimed that you have learned the ins and outs of the processes and procedures in the Supreme Court. Do you think the Supreme Court was correct in issuing a TRO, Madam?
Yeah. I would bow to the wisdom of the members of the Supreme Court, Your Honor. I
What's the wisdom before
for issuing the
issuing
TRO.
TRO, Madam?
Perhaps there is a harm or a danger that they wish to avoid, Your Honor. I really don't have the details of the case, but as a general rule, when the Supreme Court would issue a temporary restraining order, it is usually issued after deliberations have been conducted. So it will not only be the ponente who will be deciding, but they will deliberate on the matter among the members of the division, or if it is the court en banc, then all the 15 justices will decide on the matter, Your Honor.
When the Supreme Court issued the TRO against the Joint Committee, Madam, do you think it has the equivalence of abandoning several decided cases? Some are old enough not to be forgotten. I'm talking about landmark cases like Arnold versus Nazareno, Nazareno versus Balagtas. We can cite contemporary cases like Neri versus Senate of the Philippines, Gordon case, and so on and so forth. There's so many landmark cases, Madam, where the Supreme Court itself recognized the legislative power of inquiry, where it recognized the power to issue contempt order and arrest order as inherent for contumacious witnesses who do not want to heed the call of Congress. So it is as if that the Supreme Court abandoned all the jurisprudence and landmark cases that it itself enunciated in several landmark cases. Ang tanong po kasi, the legislature is a co-equal coordinate branch of government. Congress probably will not be able to do in its lifetime withdraw or recall the review power of the Supreme Court in due deference to a co-equal branch of government. or even the rulemaking power of the judiciary is something that is inherent in the Supreme Court. And Congress will not dare to touch that in due deference and respect to the equality. Am I correct, Madam?
I totally agree with you, Your Honor. I think each member of the body, the judiciary and the legislative body, should always be reminded that they are co-equals, and maybe they should give due respect whenever the legislative body is performing its function, and try to keep a hands-off policy while it is still ongoing, Your Honor.
And by issuing a TRO, that is giving us due respect.
Uh, Your Honor, what I can say is perhaps they needed time to study the details of the case. Anyway, it's only a temporary restraining order and it is subject to modification. And I do believe that our magistrates will do their best to render what is just and fair under the situation, Your Honor.
Yes, Madam, I'm asking you about fairness. I'm asking you about the equality between two equal coordinate branches of government.
Your Honor,
When I suppose before they issued the TRO, they read the entire petition. And in that petition, several allegations were made. For example, one of the allegations says that the unfortunate reality in Congress today, it said in the petition, is that the congressional power of inquiry is being utilized as a mere tool for political retribution. That was one of the allegations. And in one paragraph, it says that how many more victims, how many more citizens will be victimized by these kinds of congressional inquiries. So that was the total picture. A litigant who refuses to abide by the rules, who refuses to answer the call of Congress, took refuge by way of a petition to the Supreme Court. And the Supreme Court issued a TRO. The very simple question, Madam, is that fair? Is that correct? Is that respectful to a co-equal branch of government?
Your Honor.
Thank you very much, Madam Chair. I'm Mr.
The justice nominee is about to answer. Would you like to hear the answer or? Wag na?
Do you want to answer, Madam?
Your Honor, I respect your position. And maybe if I were still working with the Supreme Court as a court attorney, I will bring that matter up to my boss.
No, but do you want really to answer the question?
Your Honor, I do respect the co-equal.
No, but we're not answering the question.
It would be difficult for me to answer coming from the judiciary, Your
Yes,
Honor. I hope you do understand.
Yes, ma'am. Kaya sabi ko, thank you ka.
Sige po.